try to say that Richard Carnegie or Donald Trump or fucking Dennis Prager knows the right way to construct a society. I don't know the right way to construct a society. The society does. The same way a cell organizes itself. You can't just like take the parts and glue them together. It has to do it itself.
Okay.
And I think people forming structures is the same way. And I think having these borders.
When you say forming structures, what do you mean?
I mean communicating and dealing with one another, like either in like a social way or in a commercial kind of business way.
And so what about when that thing called language gets in the way and people can't communicate with each other?
I think probably one or a few languages would naturally just sort of take over. I'm not saying one would, but I'm saying there would be languages that would be strong, more pronounced in different areas. And by areas, I mean different, probably even industries and stuff. I don't know. I don't know how it would organize itself, but I just don't think that I should try to plan it, or anyone should.
I guess you know what bugs me is that I don't appreciate people coming from somewhere else, coming here, and then telling me I'm bad.
Who tells you you're bad?
All the people that are coming over here and saying that Americans suck and we're going to take over.
Why are they coming here?
Well, fuck them if they're saying that shit.
Yeah, no, why is it that now in a bunch of number of schools in California, you can't even wear a fucking shirt with an American flag on it? And but you can have your Mexican flag. You can wave that shit all day long. You'll get suspended if you're a kid wearing anything with American flag.
Why do you think that the people who want that are able? Okay, so I do think there is sort of a new thing with the American flag. I mean, whether it's not allowed in schools or whatever, maybe that's true. I'll agree with you. But why are they able to make that argument that the American flag's bad?
Well, because now, I mean, you have all these people in charge. They're saying, well, yes, America has a horrible history, and, we had slaves, and Americans and white people are just shit. White males, straight white males are the worst.
I mean, in my opinion, the way you get people to shut the fuck up is by acting the fuck right.
I do act right.
I know you do. But you know what I mean? And we have limited control over what our country does. And we as people do our best in our local environment. And I think that does have an effect, like in the global scale of things. But I mean,
Dude,
it's hard to say how much.
I don't like that nowadays. You can't say, like, I have differing opinions from a lot of people in Southern California, especially in fucking Hollywood. And I can't say shit. But everyone else can just assume that I agree with them.
Well, dude, what's great is you are saying it, and now it's going to be on the internet.
Good.
It's great.
Good.
This is a great debate, dog. This is the debate that people need to be having.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't like that I have to, I got to be hushed. If I ever go anywhere, I might say something that some fucking libtard won't like, and then I'll get a bottle upside my fucking head.
I mean, I think you're right about that. And I don't think anybody's channel should be shut down for any of that shit either. Yeah. I think that's worse. That's actually really what I'm against.
Yeah.
I don't like people standing in the way of others when they're not trying to do anything wrong.
Yeah. And that's what I don't. Or just people that are just trying to do their thing, and then other people come up and say, "Oh no, you can't do that. You can't have that opinion. Fuck you," And then
like you can't come over here and work and make a living.
If that's what you're gonna do, are you gonna actually work? Or are you just gonna get your fucking welfare check?
I mean, I'm in a bubble a little bit. In the sciences, I've worked with almost exclusively immigrants. I've socialized and worked with almost exclusively immigrants for the last 20 years.
And they're probably a certain kind of immigrant. Yeah. Did they get their PhD?
I mean, some.
Yeah, probably a lot of them. They probably all have high degrees. And we're not all dealing with the same thing,
Right,
I mean, right, I walk around here, and it's more and more. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I got to get the fuck out of here.
Fair enough. But not everybody is going over here and doing all that shit. But what I've picked up from every single person that I've talked to is that it was not easy. That it was not a pleasure cruise, and they weren't welcomed with fucking open arms everywhere. And it wasn't so easy when you didn't speak a language very well. And it was an ambitious thing. It was a thing you did to, like, you were thinking about the next generation.
Yeah, man. If you're talking
I-
about people that want to come here and work hard and create something for themselves and their community, that's awesome. That's beautiful.
I agree.
But I'm not. There's plenty where that's not happening, you know. And people are just coming to mooch off of the fucking system that just hands them money.
I mean, who do you see working?
What do you mean?
I mean, I drive around. I live in Southern California. The people I see working really hard are immigrants.
Okay, I mean, I see construction workers that they're white guys and they're working their asses off.
I mean, some of those,
but they're shitty because they're white, right?
No, I'm just saying that.
Suck.
I'm saying that a lot of people who they've come to the country and they're speaking a different language. That's how you kind of pick up that they're immigrants. It's kind of difficult with people because a lot of white people can be from South Africa. I mean, it's not. I don't know. I don't believe that whiteness thing is just sort of stupid. The whole whiteness race is first of all race, and people are gonna laugh at me for saying this, but they need to fucking smarten up. Race is completely made up. It's
of course,
completely
it's all
made up.
bullshit. And that's that's the major fucking divide they got going on now because how they're just demonizing, how they're fucking demonizing white people. Like you're a white male, you shouldn't even have an opinion. You shouldn't be able to say shit about anything. It's like, no, fuck you.
I mean, I've had people say the equivalent to me. It has happened where people have been like, "Oh, you're so white middle class experience," and I was like,
white privilege.
I'm like,
white privilege.
I'm like, middle class is how you're gonna sum up my childhood? Okay. All right. If that sums up the trials and tribulations of my fucking childhood, man, okay. But whatever. I'm just saying that some people are fucking dumb. And when I hear some shit like that, I just write that person off. And I just don't even really think about them. They're just a moron like any other kind of fucking moron. Everybody's got their own bullshit they want to buy into. But I believe in radical and almost compassion. You should always be pushed, because that's what makes you win in the long run. You might even lose a little bit. Like, people are so afraid of losing any kind of ground or not looking tough. Sometimes you just have to be smart and kind.
I'm all about being smart and kind.
Why go through if somebody's trying to drive over the border and they don't have like a fucking gun mounted to their hood? Why are we gonna like slow them down, pull them over, and look through their fucking hubcaps? Why?
Fine, let them come here, and then when we see the violence go up and away, then we'll deal with it. Because, dude, they're not coming here with like a love to be, to embrace our culture. No, they're coming here to take over. Because they're not, they don't want to come here and let's start like a new utopian culture where everyone comes together and we all are happy and it's one jolly good community. No, I'm not seeing that, because when you look into it, I mean, diversity. I know. I mean, I kind of feel like diversity creates conflict. Like when you look at a prison, I mean, as soon as anyone goes into prison, you gotta team up with your race, right? Otherwise, it's not safe.
I mean, right? Okay, I'll tell you this. Maybe that's right. That is right. Definitely, that's true how it is in a prison. But if you want to look at great art and great science, it's from different fucking backgrounds and ideas coming together. Dude,
I'm all about loving different cultures, different backgrounds, but I'm just not seeing that reciprocated in what I'm talking about,
I mean, is it fundamentally interfering with your life?
Dude, these fucking tent cities are just taking over. Like, I was walking down the street today and there was just some fucking lunatic walking up the street, and I'm like, I was walking with Lisa, and I felt like, oh, if this guy just walks over here, he looked out of his fucking mind, dude. And I'm like, well, what if there's just like a whole like army of these people where they didn't get their anti-psych meds, their antipsychotic meds? What then? What about, shit goes down and people can't get their meds, and everyone starts going nuts.
I mean, my answer's not going to be very satisfying, but the answer is then the shit goes down. But you stop doing wrong behavior immediately. You don't worry. Like withdrawing from Iraq or something like that. Yeah, it's going to be a disaster when you withdraw. But you shouldn't have fucking been there, and now you should withdraw and accept the fucking consequences.
Yeah, totally.
And so the shit's going to go down. You start behaving right, you start doing things right, and you start really being in fucking control. And yeah, might there be some violence? Yeah. But you don't try to like rule other people when they're not fucking doing anything wrong. Like if somebody wants to come over and like pick through the fucking trash and get aluminum cans, I mean, dude, that's hardcore work. More power to them. A lot of people I see are annoyed and they look like just disgusted to see somebody doing that. I mean, I mean, to me, it's like, I think somebody's time could be spent better. That's how I feel about it. And to me, but just people are just trying to survive. Most people aren't going to take over.
What do people do when they're trying to survive? They start doing whatever the fuck it takes, whatever it takes to get their fix on whatever drug they're on.
I agree.
And what are they going to do to get the money, right?
I agree, and that's why you give them what they need, and you reduce the threat to yourself.
Right, but what if what they need is your life?
Then I guess you do it for some conflict, man.